Cramer. I am a person who's very passionate about people, equality, and the inner workings of intersectionality and advocacy. This is because for much of my life, I only identified as someone with a disability. And it wasn't until I began to navigate the world of social justice that I realized that I'm much, much more, and society simply forgot to inform me of that fact. All that I knew about disability was wrong. I held within me deeply ingrained internalized prejudices that now are vague scars that serve to remind me every day that of the severe necessity of education and activism. I'd like to see myself in the future among leaders of the disability rights movement, but how can I get there? How can I, as an individual, speak on behalf of other individuals? No community is obsolete, and while we like to condense the oppressed into categories, within those defined groups, there is infinite variations. And so I have no right to declare the meaning of disability beyond my own experience. So I spoke with my professor, Dr. Rosalie Gonzalez, who actually represents Indigenous and Native American women at the UN. And she told me I was right. No one can speak for anyone else's needs. But she explained, only by responding to injustice from your own personal standpoint can you affect change. If others find within your message their own struggle, you will naturally become a spokesperson for that community. So she taught me that activism comes from within. Humans like to distill. And when I say distill, I mean simplify, condense, categorize, and eliminate. We like bullet points and we like fast food knowledge. We order wisdom from the window of our perception without really questioning what it's actually made of. Ron Takaki is a historian and activist, and he asked the question, how do we know what we know? Which is essentially epistemology, or the study of knowledge. Where does it come from, and is it mystery meat? Takaki also offers the concept of the master narrative, which is essentially an overarching statement or script attempting to define an essence. So he talks about the master narrative of American history. I see a very much a master narrative of our existence. We forget how we become who we are. We distill experience, and in doing so, we neglect the fact that others have just as rich a history that is deserving of empathy and respect. This is where social conflicts and social injustices and cultural conflicts from all over the world on a global scale arises. Like any system, the system of distillation is self-perpetuating. When we consume knowledge without reflection, we then regurgitate it to the younger generation. When we forget our own story, then what stories do we tell our children? We are not only victims of the system, we are mechanisms. And that is why it's crucial to transcend the system altogether in order to reform it from the inside. The individual is internal to the collective. I know I'm getting wordy, so let me just say this. Consciousness is a conscious effort. We have the ability to rise above whatever the system feeds us. And in this, we rise above the oppression that it provides. So meditate, reflect, and analyze the ideas in your own mind, because I'm pretty sure it's very unlikely that they're what you thought they were. And if they are, perhaps they've lost their meaning from their original intention because your position in the world has changed. It is crucial that we rise above this, that we help others in their own journey to self-awareness in whatever way you see fit, but just be aware of what you're processing and what you're experiencing, because once you light the candle within yourself, you can set the world on fire.
Mm.
Thank you very much.